Individual behavior defines how individuals behave at work and how his or her behavior is influenced by others through the attitudes, perception, personality, stress, belief, and norms or other psychological matters. Hi, myself Dr. Rita Singh Rathore, and today's topic is individual behavior, basically in the organizational behavior. What is personality and determinants? See, personality is a result of the combination of all the factors of any human being. Like it will affect according to the physical environment, according to the heredity, according to the culture and the particular experiences. With the support of these all things, a person's personality, you may see that what the differences are there with the others. And what is the personality and the determinants? According to the psychologist, they say that our personality is mainly a result of different type of the major determinants. Like what is our biological condition, what is the hereditary, because how you look it is according to the hereditary. What is the social environment was there, like in which community you are brought up and in your role in the community. And next is the psychological in the sense that what's your nature, what's your behavior with others, what about your emotions, what about your inner process, like your thoughts, your thinking. And next one is the intellectuals, like your values and the beliefs. So amalgamation of these all things create the personality. So personality traits can vary widely and impact how people perceive and interact with the world around them, because whenever we are interacting with the people, they are different type of there. So it's all based on their hereditary, according to the social condition, according to the intellectual, according to their psychological. Many features are there. Those are called the determinants. In the individual behavior, next is the personality traits. But we will try to know about the personality traits in the organization, because this topic is connected with the organizational behavior. So what is the personality trait? In the sense that it reflects people characteristics, pattern of thoughts. What are their feelings and what are their thoughts? What is the behavior of the person? So personality traits simplify like the consistency and the stability, like the someone who scores high on a specific trait, like extroversion in expected to be a sociable in the different situation and over time. So simply you may say that the person who is enduring characteristics that majorly play into our behavior and in our attitudes. So you may include many things over there, like how extroversion you are, how consciousness is there in your nature, how openness is there, how agreeableness is there in your nature, and how neuroticism is there. So according to the nature, it will identify the personality traits. Fine. So during the time of the recruitment, a person need to observe those all things. These all type of the personality traits are there in the particular person or not, because these traits vary among people and they contribute to their distinct personalities, influencing their interactions and the responses to the life changes. So it will impact in the organization also, either the positive or the negatively. Now here it is the personality attributes. So what are the personality attributes? These are the natural personality traits that support and enable soft skills. And these skills may make you more unique or determine how well you perform a certain task or job. Employers often look for the specific personal attributes and the soft skills that align with their company culture or the certain career. They may ask for those all things, like simply like the traits like the consciousness. It can lead to the higher job performance and the reliability. While extroversion is there in the traits, may enhance teamwork and leadership, whereas the emotional stability reduce the workplace stress also. So the recruiter need to observe these all qualities in the person. So while openness foster innovation, so organization culture should align with the employees' personalities to promote job satisfaction and productivity, ultimately affecting the overall success of the organization. So need to observe that which type of the personality attributes are there in the candidate. Now, importance and factors influencing perception. So very first we need to know about that what the perception is. So perception is that we become whenever the more aware of our environment, and we use perception in communication to identify with someone that how our loved ones may feel. We use perception in behavior to decide what we think about individual and the groups. So which type of the factors could influence our perception of one another in the organization and why? So factors that can influence the impressions you form of other people include the characteristics of the person you are observing, the context of the situation, your own personal traits and your past experiences also. Because the people often form impression of the others very quickly with only minimal information. Suppose that someone is there and you get some of the information, you will start to make a perception for the particular person. So one's attitudes, like the it could be like the many factors could be there for the perception, like the attitudes, motivations, expectations, behavior and interest. These all things could be the part of the perceptions. So these are the some factors which affecting the perception. So we need to explore these factors in any persons before making any ideology in our mind relevant to the particular person. So these all factors influencing include the personal biasness and the past experiences also, what is the cultural background is there, everything we need to observe, and the context in which information is presented, all impacting our understanding of the world. So whenever you want to create any perception in your mind relevant to the any person or the organization or anything, we need to go through the proper process before making any like the thought in your mind. Now, after knowing that what the perception is, what is the perception process is? So, in this process, this is the process of selecting, organizing and interpreting information from our senses. So, like during the time of the interview, you may go through this process fine, and it involves selection, organization and the interpretation of the stimuli, often influenced by the personal experience and the biasness. And for example, suppose that you are a student and you are doing a group project for the class, and you perceive a group member to be shy based on your schema or the how shy people communicate. So you may being a very responsible person and a team leader, you may avoid giving him presentation responsibilities in your group project, because if the person will be shy, you don't think shy people make good public speakers. So first thing is that they have to remove their shyness, then you can give them example. Suppose that you are in any profession and a company offers training and the continuing education opportunities for employees, so they may perceive the company as caring about them and their education. So this is a perception process. If you publicly promote those policies, others may also see you as a caring and supportive. So this may you will go through the perception process. Now, what is a perceptual biasness? So, let's see, in any workplace, the perceptual biasness occurs when the assumptions about how people look, what they think, how they work, or behave influence workforce dynamics. And bias can develop personally between individual colleagues or on an organizational level throughout the company culture. So we need to be very much aware about that. It shouldn't be start anywhere, because the perception bias is a type of the unconsciousness bias that occurs when our perception is escape based or on inaccurate, on orally simplistic assumptions about a group of or a person's belong to. And this may include bias or stereotype about age, gender or appearance, anything could be there. For example, like in any team, a team member doesn't invite, suppose that there is some team members are there and a team member doesn't invite a teammate, fine, to an after social event. Because of the perception. What was the perception? Because they assumed that they wouldn't share similar interest with the group. So this is called the perception biasness, because they assume can make it difficult to have an objective understanding about members from the diverse group. So it shouldn't be there. Fine? Because they interpret information due to their pre-existing beliefs, attitudes or stereotype, and it can lead to inaccurate judgment and decision making impacting interaction and the choices as well. So this is the perceptual biasness with which we need to very much aware about in the organization for the welfare of the organization. What is learning and its applications in the organization? See, the importance of any organizational learning is shown by the various benefits that occurs in the organizations that develop a learning culture Like they may increase the employee job satisfaction, or the lower turnover rates, or the increased productivity, profits, or like the efficiency, anything could be there. So we need to understand that what is the main role of the learning in organizational development. So overall, the goal of learning and development is to align employees' goals and their performance with that of the organizations, because those responsible for the learning and the development within the organization must identify the skill gaps, that what the skill gaps are there within their employee, and teams then develop and deliver training to bridge those gaps. So it is very important to go through the organizational learning. For example, like you may encourage people to look for the learning moments in their work. You may ensure management in the aligned with the learning objectives, and you may facilitate continuous experimenting and the reflection within your teams. So these all are the main things are there in the learning applications in the organization. Like you may talk about the innovations, the problem solving, you may work out about the employee development, or the leading or to enhance productivity or the employee satisfaction, or any the competitiveness there in the work environment in the organization. Then you may organize some training programs, mentorship programs, and a culture of the continuous learning inside the organization are the essential for the effective organizational learning and the growth, which will give the growth to the organization as well as to the employees also. Here, what is motivation and what is the role of motivation in the organization? See, motivation is the inner psychological force that activates and the compels a person to behave in a particular manner. And it is a type of the process of inductive individual desire towards a goal. That whatever your goal is, and you are just keep motivate yourself to achieve the target. Fine. And human beings drive satisfaction when the goal is achieved. So both type of, either it's a financial or the non-financial, like it's up to you that what is your goal is. And but we need to understand that why in the organizational behavior the motivation is important, why the motivation is important in the organization for the employees. So for the employees as well as for the employers also. See, if an employee is motivated, they are more likely to do a very brilliant job and work hard, because motivation is very important for attracting employees. While how you will motivate? You will motivate them by retaining employees and the general level of the productivity in a business. And it is very important. If you will not retain the employee, they will get motivated. And it's a level, it's a type of the level, motivational level, which is very important because it affects our ability to achieve personal goals. Whatever we want to achieve in our life, in our career, in our study, some motivation should be there. So it will get along with others also, and the manage stress effectively, because the motivated people are happier, they are not depressed, they are more productive, they are not destructive, and more likely to lead successful lives than people who lack motivation. Because there will be the lack of the motivation, the person will be very depressed and with the very negative thoughts. Here, it's a very concise explanations of the previous theories in the organization, what the early theories of the motivation. So it may include the Maslow's the hierarchy of the needs. One theory is there, which is said that the individuals are motivated by fulfilling basic needs. They will be satisfied when the basic needs are fulfilled before the higher level ones, according to the Maslow's theories. But whereas the Herzberg is there, he said two factors theory distinguishes between the hygiene factor in the sense job dissatisfaction, and motivators means the job satisfaction. Two types, he distinguishes the theory in the two parts, and these theories laid foundational concepts for the understanding human motivation in the workplace. So in any organization, before it's been used, the early theories are there. Two types of the theories are there. In the further presentation, we will go for the details of these all theories if it will be needed. Next is the contemporary theories in the motivation. So what is the contemporary theories? Here it has been explained in the various sections, but basically in the four sections, like the expectancy theory, what you are expecting, and the equity theory, then the goal setting theory, and then the reinforcement theory. So four types of the theories are there in the contemporary motivation, and these theories include the self-determination theory, which emphasizes that the instincts, motivation, and the autonomy. And expectancy theory suggests that individuals are driven by their expectations of achieving desired outcomes. So equity theory focuses on fairness in rewards. So these theories offer insights into the complex dynamics of motivation in the modern organizational context, and it's been used nowadays much in all the organization to motivate the employees. So whenever the once the employees will be motivated, then it is really good for the organization, because this way they may devote more nicely for the organization, so it may add a growth feature in the organization. Now, what is attitude formation? See, attitude formation in the sense, like in any organization, like the job satisfaction, job involvement, and the organizational commitment could be the part of it, because the study of the attitude formation is the study of how people form evaluations of persons or any place or anything, how they evaluate the and how they are making perception about. So theories of the classical conditioning, instrumental conditioning, and the social learning are the mainly responsible for the formation of the attitude. But what is attitude in organizational behavior? So an attitude is an arrangement accessible to respond to certain organization persons or thing in a compatible manner, which obsolete learned and has become one's distinctive mode of response. So these are the main basic reasons for our insight into our civil circumstances. For example, how the attitude can form from classical conditioning. For example, would be a child seeing their parent frown when they encounter a homeless person. So this action and the stimulus of the homeless person form an association in the child's mind that they may develop a general negative attitude about the homeless people. So this is the proper process of the attitude formation, because this is the process by which individuals develop evaluation and the opinion about the people, objects, or the ideas. What is the attitude formation is that during the process you may just identify someone in a way with their main features and the factors. So it can be influenced by the personal experience or the social interaction or the cultural norms and the cognitive processes. So attitudes guide behavior and the decision making, and making them crucial in understanding and the predicting human actions. So we need to go through it. So overall, what is the use of here? What is the main importance of the individual behavior in the organization? So for the better management of any organization, it's essential to know about the complex nature of all the human beings in the organization and how to resolve its effect on the other employees working within the firm. Because if they want to stop any type of the negativity to achieve the desired organizational goal, why to do it? If you want to really achieve the desired organizational goal, we need to go through the process of the individual, what is the behavior of particular employees. So unity of the employees working is essential, and it depends on each individual's behavior. When each individual behavior is harmonious, it is balanced, it is very much influencing, then it will give the growth to the organization. So by recognizing diverse traits and the motivations, organization can optimize performance, enhance job satisfaction, and promote overall success of the organization, because you can't change anyone's behavior, but while observing the behavior of the employee, a task could be given to them. So it will work positively and it will work for the growth of the organization. That's why the individual behavior is very important in the organizational behavior. Thank you so much.